Ayo, welcome to the Best Day Ever podcast. It is your boy, True Sav, in the building. Literally, it's Quarantine 2020, y'all. Oh, my goodness. I have no idea what is going on here in Oconda, California. Yeah. So, I guess, let's just start from the beginning. It has been a wild and crazy week. Words can't describe. Last week, when we last left you on the last exciting episode of the Best Day Ever podcast, I had recorded an episode Monday. I finished the episode. I called myself being on time because I try to be on time and not give you guys the podcast late. We're professional here. So I finished at 12:30. Now, mind you, I had gone to Sacramento, had some Best Day Ever podcast things to do. Shout out to Official 24/7. We were working on the podcast, and as a matter of fact, funny story, when I was out there, I got pulled over. I know, right? I haven't been pulled over in months. God knows how long it's been since I got pulled over. I get pulled over for running a stop sign, of all things. I was going to go to the producer's house, and it's in a newer section of Elk Grove that doesn't have lighting and whatnot. You guys don't care. I know. Trust me, it matters. So I'm doing maybe 30, 40, and I blow a stop sign. Absolutely 100% ran the fuck out of the stop sign. As I'm going through the stop sign, I see the police officer sitting there. I don't think it was a speed trap or anything. I think he was just sitting there because it's in the cuts, and no one would bother him because he had his lights off and everything. I blow through the stop sign. I see him immediately. So as soon as I see him, I pull over, roll my window down. I take my license out of my pocket, and I literally stick my hand out of the window with my license in it. As he walks up to the car, I can already hear him laughing. And when he walks up, he just starts he looks at my ID. He says, thank you, True Sav. I'm just going to go run your license real quick, and then I'm going to let you off with a warning. All right, man. And he walks back to the car and was cracking up because, he had me dead to rights. What was I going to say? Excuse me, True Sav, you know why I pulled you over? Yes, because I'm a fucking idiot who just ran that stop sign that I didn't see. So he runs my license, comes back. He's like, thank you for pulling over. Because I had immediately pulled over. I didn't try to turn. I just pulled right over, turned the car off, license out the window. You already know what it is. Further proving my point that if you make the police laugh, you can always get out of a ticket. As long as you're cool about it. Just be like, look, yeah, bro, I messed up. You saw me. What do you want me to say? Yes, I messed up. So, that was my weekend. So we had a good time in Sac. Got some stuff done for you guys. Again, merch is coming. I got you. We got some designs for t-shirts and stuff. I got you. I'm going to hold you guys down. So, I'm in the zone because I got home Sunday night and there was no traffic, little to no traffic on the freeway. I made it from Sac in maybe an hour. I get home, I woke up 9, 10 in the morning Sunday, do the episode, knock that out. So I haven't watched TV. I haven't Instagram, Facebook, nothing. My wife calls me at 1 o'clock. So I had just finished the episode. And she's like, yo, are you watching the news? I'm like, no. She's like, bro, the Bay Area is on lockdown. I was like, what? What do you mean? And she says, well, there's 6 counties in the Bay Area that are going to be on lockdown / quarantine / martial law. But I'm like, whatever. So I think it was, Alameda, Solano, Petaluma, what is it? I don't know. Sonoma, Solano, whatever, San Jose, whatever, Oakland, San Francisco, San Jose, all that was shut down. So I'm like, well, what do you mean, locked down? She's like, if you're not a police officer, nurse, doctor, something like that, or taking someone to a doctor's appointment, San Francisco is shut down. Because my wife works out in San Francisco. So this was what her boss was telling her. So I'm like, word? She's like, yeah, so we need to go get groceries, like, right now. Because they're saying that you can only leave the house to go to essential places, like groceries, stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, bet. I just posted the episode. I'll be ready by the time you get home. So she gets to the house. We take off, and we're like, well, let's go to Costco. So we take the dogs, we go to Costco, and it's fucking... We get off on the exit, and there's already a line just to get into the parking lot. The problem with that is it's maybe 300 yards from the freeway to the Costco, so we're like, okay, like, this isn't going to work. Like, let's just go to Winco in Pittsburgh. So we're like, all right, fine. So we drive out there again, no traffic, because it's Monday. It's Monday at like 2, 3 o'clock, so it should be rush hour traffic. Smooth sailing. We get to Winco, and there is 50, maybe 60 people standing in line. And I'm like, why are the people standing in line? What I didn't know was that the fire department said there can only be 50 people in a building at a time as far as customers are concerned. So they were monitoring who could come, how many people came in and how many people came out. So I'm like, well, I guess we got to get in line, bro. Like, this is what it is. So we get in line. And I kid you not, it was 45 minutes until we got inside. And it was at a snail's pace. Like, it was, oh my God. And I'm still not tripping at this point. So, I mean, this is, okay, it is what it is. It happens. Oh, sorry. We go inside, and it looks like it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and they're restocking shelves. Like, there's nothing in there. No vegetables. What is it? Broccoli, cauliflower, bell peppers, onions, zucchini, squash, gone. Like, it was just empty. The only thing left is those nasty-ass GMO apples that they have. And those GMO oranges with no seeds in them. That was the only thing left. Water, nice try. Pasta, gone. Beans, don't even think. The only thing left was lentils, because who eats lentils? But anything else, black, brown, kidney, pinto, gone. They went so far as to the barrels, like when you buy stuff in bulk, they cleared those out. The things up top were empty. I've never seen anything like that. It was crazy. It was expected. People are, from what the news was saying and the way they described it, they made it seem as if people needed to over-purchase items, possibly, because this was going on for a long time. But as long as stores are open, it doesn't really make sense to buy things in bulk. I mean, I get it. There's a possibility that the store could close and you've got just whatever you got, but that wasn't the case right now. So which is fine. We ended up just getting more fruit, more stuff for smoothies. So that worked out. What else do we... Yeah, we just bought stuff for smoothies and then stuff for whatever... What is it? I think she got like chips and hummus or something. So we're like, all right, fine. Where do we go from here? So now, after we leave Pittsburgh, we go to the Whole Foods in Gilman. So the Whole Foods in Gilman is probably, I don't know, 5 minutes from us. So we go to the store, and when we get to Whole Foods, the line is ridiculous again. So I walk in, because I was just going to get water. So I go to the Whole Foods to get water. Now, see, I'm smart sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes I'm pretty smart. I have 5-gallon containers that we usually put water in, because the water at Whole Foods is delicious. It's deionized. It's amazing. And that's how I would get my water, is that instead of buying the gallon containers or something like that, I'll just get the 5-gallon ones, fill them all up. So that way, when one is empty or two are empty, I can just take 2 of them and just fill it up, so I don't have to take all of them all the time. So I walk into Whole Foods, And the lines are the same exact thing. I'm talking like to the back of the store. Every line is at least 20, 25 people deep. And they're all looking at me like I'm crazy because I want to buy some water. I was like, what? You guys are the one in here buying garlic braised tofu and all this other expensive ass shit. But I mean, hey, God bless you. The funniest thing that happened at Whole Foods, so I get the water. Now, I'm not even going to front y'all. I'm going to tell you guys the truth. There was a moment in my mind where the old savage came out, and I was like, yo. Because the water machine at this particular Whole Foods is in the front behind the registers. So I was like, I could just fill this water up and walk up out of here and not even have to wait in this line. And I could give them like $5. Be like, here you go. But no, I didn't because I'm not that person anymore. So I paid for my 5 gallons of water, even though I had to stand in line for another half hour. But while I was standing in line, there was a man and a woman talking, and they were talking about how people are panic buying stuff, and one lady starts this really awkward conversation about how, well, we all got to die sometime, and I don't know what people are so upset about for. I was like, oh my God, like that's not what you should be talking about right now, especially in a crowded store. And the guy's just agreeing with her, and he's like, yeah, this and this and this, you got to live your life, whoop whoop. I thought that they were a couple because they just seemed to know each other, and they're going back and forth. So right as I'm about to go up to the register to pay, he says, it was nice talking to you. Like, nice meeting you. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Yeah, it's really horrible that all this is happening. And I was like, oh, you don't know each other. And so now I'm really interested. So I turn around, and it was 2 regular looking people. And so I think they saw me looking and were like, oh, this is weird. So I wanted to tell him, like, why don't you just get each other's number, fool? Like, we're quarantined anyways. We can quarantine and chill. But he did. My man got her number, and I guess they quarantined and chilled. I was like, that's what's up. Look at the quarantine, bringing people together. So we get all our stuff, go to the crib, and yeah, it was deep. That was the very first Monday. Next day I come to work is Tuesday, and the store is empty. All the food stuff is gone at the grocery store I work at that is owned by Amazon. Everything is gone. Everything in grocery, everything in produce, like, it's just gone. I asked them, I was like, yo, like, how was yesterday? And they were like, bro, it was madness. Like, the line was to the back of the store. Like, it was just all day. Like, if you knew how to work a register, like, that's all you did all day. I was like, I mean, I feel it. I understand. Like, why would it be anything else? Like, this is what it is. So, what ended up happening, for those of you not in the Bay Area, Monday night, at 1 o'clock, they make the announcement. If you're not a police officer, a medical worker, or taking someone to and from, like, a doctor's appointment, or you're in someone that's deemed an essential field, you cannot be outside. It's a misdemeanor to be outside, which violates the Constitution, but that's another subject that we're going to talk about a little later. So this left the word essential open for interpretation. Because if you are a restaurant, you now can't have people doing dine-in. They can only do takeout. So does this mean that you're an essential worker if you're working at this restaurant? GameStop, again, they were open because according to them, they deemed themselves essential, which was kind of deep. But I was like, okay, I respect the hustle. What I thought, personally, I was like, well, I'm out of a job now. Like, what am I going to do? Like, I'm just going to be at home kicking it. And boy, was I wrong. Grocery stores, so the place I work, Walmart, Target, CVS, any Trader Joe's, any type of grocery store, or someone that sells clothes or food, anything like it has been deemed essential. So, luckily, your boy is at work now, and I get to be at work all the time, so I don't have to worry about getting snatched up off the street for not being an essential worker. And the weird thing, again, this is a strange situation because nothing like this has ever happened in recent memory that I can think of. There is a weird dynamic in play now because all of the people who had these quote-unquote real jobs are out of work. So the only people who can work are those same minimum wage people that $15 was too much for a couple months ago. Because I distinctly remember the conversation. They were talking about raising the minimum wage to a livable wage for people. Oh, well, they should have got a better job. Oh, well, they should have did this. They should have did that. Now the people I see every day are people who have these quote-unquote real jobs. And now you're asking me when the toilet paper comes in. Do you know when the hand sanitizer goes? No, I don't know. I'm sorry, Brad. Remember last week when you said we were some stupid motherfuckers who didn't deserve our job? Yeah, Brian, I'm looking at you. You bastard. No, that didn't happen. No, I'm sure they only said it in their mind. But no, it is very awkward dealing with people now because there's a lot of uncertainty. There's damn near panic because people are buying stuff in bulk that they don't necessarily need all the time. This reminds me lightweight of Book of Eli because hand sanitizer, hand wipes, disinfectant spray, toilet paper, paper towels, all of those are in water filters, water itself, like all of those are in high demand right now. Like it's so strange. Because, as long as I've been here for, 3 years, no one's ever come in on a daily basis and asked for hand sanitizer, toilet paper, paper towels, anything like that. Now, that's all they ask for. So much so that we've had to limit quantities of the things that you can buy. I think toilet paper is 1 per person, paper towels is 2, water is 2, hand wipes is 2 or 3, and even quantities of food. And it's yo... This is reminiscent of the USSR, but I don't think it's going to get that bad, hopefully. But it's deep. So much so that we have to, close the door to the loading dock because there's, toilet paper and paper towels and food out there, and we can't have people just, run in on some Demolition Man type hype and just rob us for all the TP. It's something else. But yeah, it's really interesting. Especially because when you're in a crisis situation like we're in right now, and then the people who are in charge don't really know what they're doing. So that kind of adds fuel to the fire. Because then I digress. We're not even going to worry about that. Anyways, the one thing, it's not funny, but the one thing that they were certain to say, because certain people are exempt from these rules, and these people are our homeless population here in the Bay Area, they were quick to say no one's outside. Well, the exact rules were you can travel if you're going to get the essentials, if you're going to a store, if you're taking someone to an appointment, if you're exercising, so if you're outside exercising, or if you're walking your dog, that was acceptable. The only people who were exempt from these rules were homeless people. So they could come and go as they please, as they normally do. And it was, I had a homeless guy that said something about it, and he said, well, where are we supposed to quarantine to? And they were the same place you've been quarantined to. Go to the park, do whatever, 6 feet, do your thing. But that is even going to get kind of interesting because it's supposed to be 6 feet. if you're within 6 feet of someone, you can get a ticket. If you're within 6 feet of someone you don't know, that's the misdemeanor. And then I'm assuming from 10 to 5 are like the real high traffic times. Like, there's basically no reason to be out between 10 and 5. Because most of the stores close at 9. So from 10 to 5, you have no real reason, because clubs are closed, bars are closed, restaurants are closed. Anything that's not selling straight food or clothes is pretty much out of business right now. Stores are boarded up. Anything with glass windows, it's all boarded up. So it's a ghost town here. I was outside. Oh, I guess I can tell you guys. You're not going to tell anybody. So I'm walking the dogs last night. I'm chilling. It's 10:30 and it's dead silent right now. It's dead silent. Like, there's no one on the streets. There's no cars driving by. There's no anything like that. So I'm chilling. I'm loving it, because whenever I try to like come outside at nighttime, there's always people acting crazy and driving fast and being drunk and whatever. So now it's nice and quiet. I got the streets all to myself. It's amazing. So I'm walking the dogs, I'm chilling, and all of a sudden I hear like this rumbling coming from down the street, and I recognize it as an 18-wheeler. So I hear the 18-wheeler go by, and the 18-wheeler is doing like 40, maybe 50. So it fucking flies by, and on the 18-wheeler is an umbrella. And I immediately thought, oh my God, it's the Umbrella Corporation from Resident Evil. For those of you who don't understand what I'm saying, Resident Evil was a video game where this evil corporation called the Umbrella Corporation unleashes this virus, and it turns people into zombies and blah, 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 blah. And in my mind, it had just happened. Like, the Umbrella Corporation was here, and they were going to shoot the virus out, and people were going to turn into zombies, and that was going to be it. And then the split second after, I was like, oh, that's not realistic. Like, that'll never happen. I thought, oh no, it's really the Purge. Like, they're going to hop out of the 18-wheeler and just start shooting shit. I was like, no. And then I realized, like, what is wrong with you? Like, just walk the dogs, fool. Like, you're an idiot. I'm sorry. I had a moment. It didn't make any sense. It made perfect sense at the time. At the time, in my mind, it made absolute sense. But now that I say it out loud, it sounds kind of ridiculous. But please don't judge. Jesus Christ, it's the Purge. Fuck. So yeah. So now the thing is, we've decided what's essential and what's not, and who gets to work and all the other type of fun stuff. But now people are not obeying the self-quarantine rule or whatever. And it seems like it's in lower income areas. There's been a few cities that they said they've had issues with people going in at nighttime. I think it's Newark. So New Jersey, New York, Philly, Baltimore, everywhere in the goddamn South. New Orleans, Alabama, Mississippi. They had some issues in East Oakland. I know in East Oakland, they said, we don't give a fuck about the quarantine. You can't make us go inside. So, hey, God bless you and good luck with that. That is going to be, I'm sure that's going to be an issue. Well, we'll talk about that a little later. And then also, now the funny thing about it is that they were cutting our hours at the Amazon spot. But now the new rule is, well, they're giving us a punk-ass raise temporarily. So really it's hazard pay. And then they're giving us unlimited overtime. So you can have all the overtime you want. So it's gone from, oh, you're only going to get a couple hours to, hey, You can stay here as long as you want to. We don't care. Which is fine by me. I don't care. I pretty much work every day from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Go home, go to sleep, and just keep rocking. I'm not one to turn down free money. So I will be more than happy to go to work every day as long as we're talking about this. And most of the time, it's busy from 8 till maybe 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. Then after that, no one's out. Because everyone goes inside, which is absolutely fine with me. And then school's out. This is interesting. This is one of the interesting things that I don't really get. School is out. They've closed the schools until summertime, which really means your kids are going to be at home until September. If school starts again. If school starts in September. So that's going to be interesting. No one really knows how that's going to play out. But the memes are hilarious, though. I'm not going to lie. All these little quarantine memes, like, boy, I can't take it. Oh, y'all can't take nothing serious, I swear. But also, an unexpected consequence of this is there's a lot of people who just aren't coming to work. Why? I have no idea. The people that I've talked to said they're not coming to work because they're scared that they might get sick and so on and so forth. Okay. I mean, anything could happen, so I get it. Don't come to work if you're scared. That's fine. But I don't think you're going to have a job. And it's like you're in one of the only fields that people could actually still come to work. Like, some people are working from home, but I mean, how are you going to work at home from this place? Like, that's not going to work. So, I don't know what they're going to do. There's only been like one or two people who like just refused to come to work. And they said the same thing. They thought that they were going to catch it and something else. And I was like, bro, I don't blame you. If you think that's what it is, then that's what it is. God bless you. But, man, just bring your ass to work. Oh, my goodness. I don't know. Raise unlimited overtime? Yeah. All right. Let's see. So we're 20 minutes in. All right. So I guess I can be honest with you guys. I think, personally, there's a regime change. Well, you know what? I'm going to give you my BS. I'm going to give you like 2 minutes of my BS, and then I'll tell you guys a story, because this ain't going to work. It seems like there is a regime change here in the United States. Like, nothing ever happens by accident, especially over here. So I just think it's weird, like we were talking about earlier with this curfew situation. Like, that's illegal. Like, that's one of those constitutional right things, like the right to travel wherever you want to without being stopped and asked, like, where you're going. Well, they just circumvented that. Like, the police can't just stop you and be like, hey, let me see your ID. What are you doing? Like, that's in the Constitution. Like, that's not. And that's a really big deal. Because the police have to suspect you of a crime. And right now they've made it so that it's a crime to be outside if you're not going to work. So that's like, that's some totalitarianism for that ass, boy. Like, that's a really big issue. The fact that they just took out a loan for $1.5 trillion to try to boost the economy, that's kind of weird. Because usually you have to vote on stuff like that. They didn't have to vote on that. What else did they do? Ending school and just pretty much putting everyone out of their job, that's going to have repercussions. I mean, you figure, if you're a small business owner, you're in trouble. You can only make it a couple weeks, maybe a month before you, I mean, because you're going to have to pay rent. The rent out here for wherever your business at is through the roof. So if you were barely making it before, how can you be out for 1, 2, 3, 4 months at a time if they're still charging rent? Now they're talking about not having to pay mortgage payments, and the banks are going to be a little bit more lax. I was like, I don't really see that happening. Then the stock market tanked. So now you've got people who lost all their money in the stock market, people who are going to lose their businesses, people who are going to lose their homes, and now you've got all this new debt. Like, I don't know. I'm only going to be scared because people keep asking me, like, what you said, why aren't you scared? Like, all of this is happening, like, it's so uncertain. It's like, I'm not scared because they've done this before. Yes, they've done this before. Like, this is what the United States does. Like, this is why history is so important. History is important because if someone doesn't know something has happened, you're bound to fall for it again. If you don't know that this is what governments do, like, the best quote I ever heard was, people who fail to plan fail to realize a plan when it's being enacted. So people think that, oh, these are just random events, like these just happen, and it's like, no, someone thought this out. Like, this was a well-organized plan that all of these things fell into place like this. So something is going on. I've refused to believe that, oh, this is just this big accident and it's just happening to play out like this. Like, no. I'll be scared if they try to take away paper money. If one day they say, oh, you know what, the virus is transmitted by touching paper money and everyone needs to come turn in their paper money and we'll give you this bank account and it's going to be connected to you and it's going to have your information on it. And that's what I'm going to flip out. Because I'm like, oh, they're really going to do it, huh? Like, they're really going for the microchip. Like, then that's when I'll be scared. But other than that, nah, man. It's not going to be that bad. I can't promise. I was going to say I promise, but I can't promise that. It's going to be an issue. So, again, and the cold part about it is, like, I feel like last week, isn't this what we talked about? Didn't we talk about relationships? With your mama, your daddy, your significant other, your friends, your coworkers, your relationship with the world. It's almost like, I'm not going to say it's like I knew that this was coming, because I had no idea this was coming. I'm not even going to front. I had absolutely zero idea this was going to happen. But it seems a lot strange. It seems pretty strange. And now you had the information ready to help yourself out. Because now would be the time. Now is the time. You got to fix those if you have nothing but time, fix that relationship with your parents, your mom, your dad, whatever you're mad about. Take the time to sit down with your spouse, your kids. Work all of that out. Okay, you're going to get arrested out here playing. Oh, we're not in the penthouse today filming. We are live on the streets. We are on the streets of Wakanda, recording live today. So I'm going to get a little distracted because people are walking by doing all types of crazy stuff. But don't mind me. But yeah, man, now is the time to figure it out. Figure out your plan. Where do we go from here? Like, I understand that things are rough and there's a lot of uncertainty, but now is the time to figure it out. What do we do if this happens? What do we do if that happens? How are we going to move like this if I'm not here and you're just here? If I'm gone, you gotta have a plan. You can't get caught flat-footed. That is not the best way to go. Uh-oh. Ooh, now the fire department's out here. Again, reporting live from the streets of Wakanda. It's your boy True Sound. This might be the new studio. I like this. Nobody can come out here. I can wave at people. Oh my goodness. All right. So, for Quarantine 2020, I guess I can tell you guys a lockdown story. We'll have a... Oh my gosh, what is it? We'll have half of the Savage Chronicles today. It was some interesting stuff. Because I don't want to keep talking about this. This is depressing. We all know what we got to do. It's, oh, Jesus. Uh-oh. I just got a new logo, too. Oh, shit. All right, I'm going to post the logo, too, today. I got it all. Oh, Jesus. Oh, that's not what was supposed to happen. Okay, there we go. That was a throwback episode, y'all. That was the Best Day Ever podcast before it was the Best Day Ever podcast. All right. I feel like I told you guys this. No, I couldn't have. Okay. So, this isn't the first time I've been on quarantine. Well, it is and it isn't. I got quarantined to, oh, wow, see? You can hear all the stuff in the neighborhood. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I will tell the story. Because it was the one I told on the first episode of the Best Day Ever podcast that never hit the streets. All right, story time for Quarantine 2020, y'all. I was a little bit of a party animal back in the day. And I'd had a little bit too much to drink. And I still decided to drive home like a dummy. Don't do that. It's bad, kids. Drinking and driving is not cool. Don't be like your Uncle Dewey. Be a fucking idiot. So, I get arrested. I do the whole 8 hours, whatnot, blah, blah, blah. Did I? How did I get home? I don't remember. I got arrested in Placer County, which was oh my God. Placer County is the county next to Sacramento, going east towards Tahoe. It is it's known as a place that is not necessarily nice to people of color. So I tried to be as cool as I could with the officer because I didn't want to be a statistic. I get arrested. I get my ticket. My parents don't know at this point. Like, it's still a secret that I got this ticket. What I didn't know is that when you get a DUI, your name and address is out there. And you'll start getting you'll start getting letters from different attorneys and whatnot. So that's what got me caught. Was that I started getting letters from all these DUI attorneys, and my parents were like, why are you getting all these? Your guess is as good as mine. I have no idea. No idea. We all know that wasn't the truth. But, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. So, I end up having to go to court for this little situation. And when I go to court, they say, okay, you've been charged with DUI, blah, 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 blah. Do you want to do 30 days of work project? Do you want to do however many days of house arrest? Or do you want to do jail time? I was like, well, how much jail time I got to do? They're like 10 days. I was like, 10 days instead of 30 days of work project? Man, I won't tell, man. Send me to jail, man. So they were like, well, when do you want to go? I was like, shit, we can go right now. And they were like, nah, we can't take you right now. But you can set up a day and you can go. So I'm like, all right, bet. Like, that's what's up. So I set the day up and I decide, I think it was something weird, like a Monday or something weird. So I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. Now, crucial plot point. I've never been to jail before. Like, never. Like, at no point in my adult life have I been to jail. So I don't understand. I don't know the rules, regulations. I don't know anything. So I had told my job, hey, I got to go out of town. I have this thing, like, I'm going to be gone for 10 days. Because I didn't want to tell them, like, I'm going to jail for some shit like that. I didn't know. So they give me the time off. I ended up, Yeah, I ended up getting the time off. I got a friend of mine to give me a ride out there. So all my friends knew. My parents didn't know. I told them, I was like, I got to do something. I'm going to be gone. So I get a ride out there. We do the whole fucking go to Carl's Jr., get my last meal, drink a little bit, smoke a little bit. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to jail. So we go all the way out there. I get to the jail. I think I had until like 5 o'clock or something to turn myself in. I get there at 4:59 and 58 seconds. So I come check in with the lady in the lobby. Tell her what the deal is. Yeah, this is your boy True Sav in the building. She's okay. Well, since you're here and you checked in, like, you're under arrest. And I was like, what do you mean I'm under arrest? I'm in the lobby. She's like, yeah, you're under arrest. So, like, because you've turned yourself in, you're in our custody. So if you leave the parking lot, we'll consider that an escape attempt. And we'll add those charges to your case. And I was like, what? I was like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. Like, I've never been here before, so I don't really understand what's going on. Like, what do you mean? And she says again, she's like, well, you've turned yourself into us, so you're in custody right now. So if you leave this parking lot because this is our property, we'll consider that an escape attempt. So, like, if you go across the street to 7-Eleven and come right back, we'll consider that an escape because you left the property. So I was like, that's deep, but that's okay. Like, whatever. So I come back. I'm sitting there, and it's 5 o'clock, mind you. So I'm chilling. 5 o'clock turns to 6. Excuse me. Yeah. 5 o'clock turns to 6. 6 o'clock turns to 7. And I'm just still sitting there like, damn, like, can I go to the back? Like, what's going on? As I'm sitting there, 3 women come in. It looked like 3 different generations. It looked like a grandma, a mother, and a daughter. They come into the building, and the mother and the grandmother, well, the women who were of those ages were frantic. Were just like, oh my gosh, we need to find my son, this and this and this. And the ladies behind the counter, in typical county worker fashion, were having none of it. They're like, man, you need to calm down. You need to, I think I got that ism. So they were like, ma'am, you need to calm down. So they say, like, ma'am, who are you looking for? So they give dude's name and say, oh, it's so-and-so. So like, oh, well, ma'am, he hasn't been processed yet. You need to just wait. And then after we process him, we'll have more information on whatever's going on. So they're like, oh my gosh, like, oh, so on and so forth. We just need to see little Billy and blah, 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 blah. And I'm just in there chilling, just ear hustling, like, damn, that's scandalous. Like, oof, whatever. So they tell the ladies, it's going to be a while. It's going to be a couple hours until he gets processed. Your best bet is just go home, look on the website. Once he gets processed, we'll go from there. So we're like, all right, cool. So once the 3 women leave the lobby, I can hear the 3, because they're all, if you work in the jail, you're either a sheriff or like a volunteer sheriff. Like, you're not just a civilian. Like, you're in some way affiliated with the police department. So I hear them start talking, and she was like, her son ain't getting out. He was messing with that little girl, something. So I'm immediately like, quite like, ooh, well, spill the tea, Brenda. Come on with it. What happened? I didn't get the full gist of the story. I heard a couple of bits and pieces. It just didn't really make sense. So I was like, okay, whatever. I'm just going to mind my business. 8 o'clock rolls around. 9 o'clock. 10 o'clock. By this time, I'm not any high anymore. I'm just sitting here like, what the fuck is going on? Like, can we get this over with? Like, why am I here? So, finally, I think at like 11:35 or something, they come out, they're like, all right, True Sav, come to the back. Whoop-de-whoop. We do the old switch out your clothes. Take your clothes, fold them, put them in the bag, spread them and cough, all that type of shit, which is the fucking weirdest thing ever. Like, you want to look at my asshole? Like, I guess, bro, if you want to. So, oh, wow. Oh, sweetheart, you're not supposed to dread your hair. Oh. There's this Asian lady that just walked by that dreaded her hair, which is, God bless you if that's what you want to do. I mean, your hair wasn't made for that, sweetheart. But I digress. I'm in intake. Jeez, my knees, I can't enunciate today for anything. And it's hot funny time. Or excuse me, I didn't even do my intake yet. As soon as they took me from the lobby, they put you into a cell, just a regular cell. It's myself and this younger dude. At the time I was 22, 23, somewhere around there. This guy looked like he was 18, 19, somewhere around there. He looked younger than me and I was 22. The officer gave me a blanket, the pillow, whatever. He's like, here you go. I'm chilling. I know I have 10 days. I've seen all the jail movies. Like, I know what it is. Like, I already know what time it is. I'm going to chill out, whatever. For those of you who have never been to jail before, imagine a room maybe twice the size of your bathroom with a water fountain and a toilet connected to each other, and then a payphone all in the same area. And it's me and another person. The window is glass, so there's glass on the front. The bottom part is cement, so maybe 4 feet up is cement. From 4 feet up to the ground is cement. 4 feet up to the ceiling is glass, like thick plexiglass, so they can see in, but we obviously can't go out or anything like that. I'm chilling. I just laid down. My little barbiturates are already starting to wear off. So I'm tired. I'm like, bro, I'm going to sleep. Fuck it. The kid in there is crying hysterically. Just like, I don't know what to do. This. The payphone in the holding tank is free. You can make all the free local calls you want. So I dicking around, make some calls. Hey, what's up, nigga? Hey, we out here. Quarantine 2004, whatever year it was when I was out there fucking up. So I'm chilling, whatever. So dude is flipping out, just fucking, I'm not supposed to be here. All that punk ass shit. It's like, bro, none of us want to be here, but I think we all know why we're here. It's like, come on, my G. Most of us are guilty. I'm leaving him alone. Like, at first, I kind of went back and forth with him because I was chilling. Like I said, I wasn't really bothered by it. Let's see. A third guy comes in. It's another young white guy. And it only matters for the purpose of the story, trust me. The first kid was white. The 18, 19-year-old. There's a second guy that comes in maybe 30 minutes later. He has on no shoes or socks. He's covered in mud. Shorts, and he had on some kind of band t-shirt. Like, so-and-so 2004 tour or whatever. He comes in, and immediately, as soon as he sees dude crying, he's like, bro, what's wrong with you? What the hell? I don't understand. And the kid is just the same thing. I'm not supposed to be here. Oh, this is a big mistake. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. So the dude with no shoes looks at me, and he's like, what the I was like, bro, I don't know. I don't even know. I'm like, where are your shoes at, fam? Like, he was like, oh, bro, me and my buddies are like roadies for this band. And I'm like, roadies? Like, what is that? Basically, my man was from North Carolina, and he was following this band's tour. I can't think of the name of the band, but they were pretty big. And from the way he described it, what had happened was somewhere around Colorado, the roadies, the real roadies of a band are the guys that travel with them that set up the stage equipment. So the microphones, the lights. So every day they got to set up the lights and then take them down at the end of the show. So these guys travel with them. Well, apparently the roadies had seen them at like 4 different shows in 4 different states. So they had asked them like, yo, like, what are you guys doing? Like, they're like, oh, we're following the tour, which apparently is the thing that people do. People will follow, they will literally drive behind the tour bus and just pull up to the next city, go to the show, follow them to the next city. I'd never heard of this before, but apparently that's what my man was doing. And so I was like, doesn't that cost a lot? Like, he's like, all you really got to pay for is gas. Like, you just got to get to the next city. Like, we already have our tickets. Our tickets are whatever amount of money. So I was like, damn, like, bro, that's deep. Like, I didn't know that was a thing. So, congratulations. Like, well, what happened to you? He said they went to the concert. They were at their hotel. They were having a good old time, partying, drinking, and whatnot. And it got a little out of hand. And after it got a little out of hand, the cops came and they wrestled dude to the ground. That's why he doesn't have any clothes on, or he doesn't have any shoes on, because it was at the hotel. I'm like, well, if you're in jail, like, how are you going to find your friends? He's like, it's cool, bro. He's like, I just got to hold on. And he tucks his shirt into his arm, tucks his arms into his shirt, spins his shirt around and was like, I just have to make it to, and he's looking at the tour dates. I just have to make it to LA in like 6 days. I was like, but what about all your shit? He was like, I know, it's like, my credit cards and stuff are in my wallet. My wallet's in my property. So as soon as I get out, I'm just going to get a bus ticket or a plane ticket to LA, and then I'll just catch up with them there. And I was like, my man, that is the life. Like, I'm not even mad at you. Like, that's the life, bro. Like, that's what's up. You're hella cool. So me and him kicked it. We're chopping it up for like an hour and something. It's 1:30 in the morning. And the young dude is still crying. He's not crying, but, you know, he's doing that little, that shit. So, I mean, I get it. Jail is a scary place. I mean, it was my first time, but I mean, I wasn't going to go out like that. I've seen enough jail movies to know you don't cry. That's what you don't do. This is when things get real. Now the biker dude walks in, because it's like 1:30 in the morning. Like your classic biker dude, overweight white guy, long hair, big beard. So me and the other guy kind of sit up at attention, like, hold on, like let's see what time he's on before we get kind of comfortable. So he immediately, as soon as he gets in, bam, he's on the phone. Yeah, babe, they got me again. Something. I figure I'm probably going to have to do like 10 months, 11 months, something like that. So, you know, sell the whoop-de-whoop, do whoop-de-whoop, go to so-and-so, get this little money. I was like, oh, you're a pro. You've been down before. Like, wasn't shook, was extremely calm, just gave her the directions. Hey, this is what you got to do, whoop-de-whoop, I'm going to be down. So I was like, damn, I respect the hell out of that. I mean, that sucks that you got to go to jail, but I mean, hey, do your thing, Wody. So he's on the phone, and this is the only free phone call you get. And from the way he sounded, he was either going to do a year in county or he was going to have to go to prison. So he's maxing on his free phone call. He's just sitting there, blah, 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 blah. Dude is like, the kid that was crying is like, can I use the phone, please? So the biker dude is like, yo, hey, we're in lockup, motherfucker. Like, stop crying, you bitch. So fucking, he didn't call him a bitch, but he was like, hey, yo, stop crying. Like, we grown in here, motherfucker. Like, knock that shit off. So the guy gets off the phone. He lets the kid get on the phone. This is when hilarity ensues, boy. The kid calls his mom and is like, hey, Mom, can you get me out? Something. I'm not supposed to be in here. And this is when it starts to come together. I realize that this kid that's talking is the same kid that the mom and the aunt... Oh, fuck. Hey, yo. Hey. I'm I'm doing my episode right now. Give me like 10, 15 minutes. I'm going to call you
Okay.
back. Are you drunk already?
No, I wish I was fucking drunk.
Oh, my God. You got 2 days. All right, let me call you back in like 10, 15 minutes. I'm almost done. Your birthday's on Thursday, right?
Thursday.
Yeah. Give me like 10, 15 minutes.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye. All right, so where was I? Okay, so dude gets his phone call, calls mom's. He's crying and whatnot, and he's saying like, oh, you know, I got to get out of here, this and this and this and this. I'm not supposed to be here, all that punk shit that people always say. So the mom is like, your bail is $15,000. So he's like, well, can you pay that? And she's like, I don't have $15,000. He's like, well, can you sell the car? Can you do something? She's like, how am I going to sell the car? If I sell the car, how am I going to get to work? She's like, well, Mom, I got to get out of here. She's like, well, he's like, I'll get a job. Like, I'll get a job at McDonald's. Something. And I thought about it, I was like, wait a minute. If you get a job at McDonald's, I'm doing the math in my head. I'm like, 15,000. I was like, bro, you're going to have to work like a year straight at McDonald's and give up all of the money to pay that off. Like, you're not going to want to do that. Like, stop it. So as he's talking to his mom, I realized what happened. Because I didn't understand what was going on until this exact moment. The ladies in the lobby were disgusted because this was the second time he had got caught having sex with this girl. The girl in the lobby wasn't their daughter. It was his girlfriend, who was 15. And this was the second time her parents had caught him having sex with her. He was 19. She's 15. That's statutory, my guy. He'd already gone to court for this. And the judge has said, if we catch you again, you're going to prison for fucking on this little girl. It all came crashing down in a flash. I was like, oh, shit. You like underage buns, my nigga. Like, you were not going to have a good time in here. This is, oh, shit. This shit just got real really quick. So I left it alone. Like, I wasn't even going to fuck with him. I was like, you'll get a dose of reality really quick. So he finally gets off the phone. The OG biker dude gets on the phone. And he's talking to his wife or old lady, whatever. And dude is sobbing in the corner. And I shit you not. OG got off the phone and was like, hey, yo, shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear you crying like a little fucking girl. Now, that time he did cuss at him like that. Because, I mean, like, bro, you're down. Like, you did whatever you did. Like, unless you're 100% innocent, ain't no reason for you to be crying, motherfucker. You wasn't crying when you did the shit. So, fucking man up, do your time, homeboy. I know, I was talking all tough and shit. I was shook too, but I just wasn't as shook as him. But don't tell nobody that, though. I got an image to maintain. After all this happens, it's got to be 2:30, 3:30 in the morning. They finally come do my intake. Intake is where they put you in one of the little interview rooms, and they ask you basic stuff. Are you in a gang? Do you have any tattoos? Is there anyone that you won't get along with in here? What that question basically is saying is, are you a racist? Do you not like black people, white people, Mexican people? And all of these questions are important. I promise you, they're all important. They're important because they don't want a situation where if I tell you, yes, I have a problem with white inmates, like I'm going to try to stab one of these fuckers if I see him, they're going to have to segregate you. They're going to have to put you somewhere else. If you don't say anything and they put you in there and it happens, like, okay, well, no one said anything. But if you verbalize it and you say, yes, I have a problem with this and this person, then they're required a little bit by law to kind of accommodate you. Because they can't put you in a situation like that knowing what's going on. Especially with gangs and stuff like that. Like, they can't put a blood gang member in a Crip pod. Or they can't put someone who's... I guess a white nationalist in there with the whole, but I mean, stranger things have happened. No, I'm in the interrogation pod or whatever, And I'm cracking up because it was a female that was interviewing me. So we're having a good old time. I'm cracking jokes and shit. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Quarantine 2004, y'all. It's just the preamble. So we get there. We're talking. And they get to the most important question. The most important question in intake is this. Are you having suicidal thoughts or thoughts about harming yourself? The answer to that question is always no. And it's got to be an emphatic no. Because if they think that you're bullshitting, they're going to put you on suicide watch. Suicide watch is the most fucked up shit in the jail. Suicide watch is, well, remember that I said that. Well, I'm doing my intake. Things are going rather nicely. Oh yeah, this and this. We're cracking jokes. In the pod next to me, in the cell next to me is the kid, the baby fucker. I can hear them talking, but I can't hear specifically what's being said, but I can hear them talking. And me and the lady are just going back and forth talking, woo, woo, woo. Mind you, one of the first questions they asked you was the suicide question. I had already made it way past there, and I was just shooting the shit with the lady at this point. So maybe a couple questions in, I hear an alarm go off, and I hear his door fly open, and you hear, like, feet scuffling. And I'm like, what? And I'm looking at him like, what just happened? And she was like, he answered yes to the suicide question. So what had happened was the door, when he answered yes to the suicide question, the door flew open. They grabbed him, stripped him naked. Like, they strip you naked, and they put you in a padded room, and they wake you up every 15 minutes. So they come by every 15 minutes to make sure that you're not asleep. And they do that for 24 to 48 hours. Because you said you're going to kill yourself. You can't kill yourself in the jail. They can get sued for that. So, like, it might seem like something slick to say, like, oh, yeah, I'm going to kill myself. Don't do it. Do not do it, because they will take that absolutely seriously. Ask my man's. Excuse me, he's not my man's. Ask dude that was in there, because he was fucking up. Now, it's 3 o'clock. At this point, I'm just ready to go to sleep. They finally put me in a pod. And things are different. Now, in jail, in movies, when people go to the jail, like downtown or like in a major city, there's like a cell and there's like 15, 20 people in there. That's not necessarily realistic. That doesn't happen all the time. They're usually broken up into different like cell situations. Like, well, I guess it is true. It is like that, but it's not like the cell with the bars on it. You're just behind plexiglass in the door. But I mean, you will get picked on. Like, if you look like a lollipop, somebody's gonna come get you. So it's best to not even do that. But they put us in our housing situation, and they do pods in most county jails up here in Northern California. The pod was, Jesus, there was like a bottom floor. You went up a couple stairs into a second level, and it fit 70, 80 people. So the way to describe it is you walk into the room, and there's got to be 40-foot ceilings, and it's all open. So it's 40-foot ceilings. It's maybe 60 feet by 60 feet. There's bunk beds on the bottom. There's bunk beds on the top. And there's 2 rooms connected. It might be the size of a gymnasium. But they're separated down the middle by a concrete divider. The only way that you can go to both sides is there's a control desk where the officer sits at. So he can see to the left side or to the right side. And there's got to be, like I said, 80 on one side, 80 on the other, so 160 to one guard. But the thing is, you're not going to try the guard, because if you try the guard, they're going to come outside and fuck you up. So I come into the pod, and now everyone's asleep. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. So I find my bunk, hop on the bunk, bam. I'm stressed all the way the fuck out, because I don't know what's going to happen. I've never been to jail before. All I know is the movies. Maybe I lay down, put my blanket and shit on there, fall asleep. It felt like 5 seconds. Well, alarm thing goes off. I'm like, what the fuck? They're like, it's breakfast. So I'm like, all right, it's fucking 4:30 in the morning, 4 o'clock. I'm like, what? So we get up. Now, instantly, I'm looking around to see, like, okay, where are the faces that look like mine? Like, where are the black people? Where are the Mexicans at? Like, what's up? There was, in a room of 80, there was maybe 5 black guys. So we all sit at the same table. Like, I'm looking at the black guys, and they're like, yeah, come sit here. So they're like, yeah, whoop whoop. Like, there's only 5 of us. Like, the rest of these motherfuckers in here are tripping. Whoop whoop. The thing with the difference between jail and prison is, yeah, most people in jail are some suckers. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, most of the people in jail are in jail for domestic violence, tickets, or DUI, some silly shit. Especially county jail. Like, there's a few people who are going to prison out of county jail, but, like, that's rare. That's usually if you're in county jail, you're fighting your case, and then you're going to get sent to a prison somewhere. But all of this, jail is scary because it's these big, nah. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a couple motherfuckers in county jail that, like, you don't want no problems with. But the majority of people are in there for some stupid shit. Credit card fraud, like I said, DV, some punk-ass shit. Like, they're not no real thugs in there. This coupled with the fact that I think it was between 75 to 80% of the people in jail do not have a high school diploma. Yeah, I'm just going to let that simmer for a second. 75 to 80%. 80% of the people in jail or prison do not have a high school diploma. So all those people that used to ditch school and do all that type of stuff, this is who you're locked up with. It's not the best and the brightest. This isn't Club Fed, where it's someone who's on some kind of federal case, who's got some kind of smarts. No. This is the lowest common denominator. This is those people on cops that get arrested. You're like, boy, they dumb than a motherfucker. This is who is in jail. This is not my crowd by any stretch of the imagination. No disrespect. But I'm just saying, if you're in jail, you're a stupid motherfucker. Myself included. So, we do breakfast. We drink this little... I refuse to eat jail food. I'm bad and bougie. I don't do that. I'm good. So I passed my tray off. Was like, here, you guys got it, boys. Now, again, I'm tripping. I've never been in jail. I don't know nobody who's been in jail. Well, you know what I mean. Let me do breakfast. Bam. I shut it down for a little bit. I go back to sleep. I wake up at maybe 9, 10 in the morning. Again, this was in 2004. So the rules to the game are a little bit different. I wake up. We're in the little pod. They're chilling. Boy, it was like summer camp. People in there playing cards, shooting dice and shit. I was like, okay, like, this is what's up. This is cracking. Now, for a little background, at the time, I still had blonde hair. So I had my fro that I had been growing for like 2, almost 3 years, and it was blonde. Like, my roots were showing a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't all the way together. But I was at 6'2", and I was in shape still, because I was still playing football, and I was 22, 23. So I was in shape. I was a in-shape, big black dude with a blonde fro. So I looked crazy as fuck. I looked absolutely insane. So let's see, I wake back up, like I said, 9, 10, and they're watching BET and MTV. I don't have cable at my house. So I'm like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, they're watching VH1 and all the videos with titties bouncing and shit. I was like, what is this? So I'm like, all right, bro. Like, all right. They have the Gillette razors. They had at the time, Gillette had those like three something razors with the circles, and you do it. Like, we had those. They had like 3 or 4 of them locked up, and you could shave shit. I was like, bro, this is the life. Like, I'm trying to go back to jail. This shit is cracking. If we had some hoes in here, boy, that nigga would never leave. So We do all that. We we had MTV time and all that. They say we can go to yard now. So I'm like, okay, like what's that? Well, the way that Placer County is situated, there is no real like yard time. Like there is no outside, like in the movies. It's not like that. It's a little enclosed cement area with a basketball with a fucking lump in it. I think, did the hoop have a net? I think the hoop had a net, so there was that. But I mean, it was nothing really to smile at. It was just some regular old basic shit. We start to pick teams because we were hooping. I think it was 4-on-4. It was 4-on-4. So we're picking teams. I'm standing there. They picked the first team before, picked the second team before, and I'm still standing. I was like, wait a minute. Did I just not get picked for the hoop squad? Like, wait a goddamn minute. I didn't get picked. Like, this is some crazy shit. Like, if this is what really happens, like, this is a fucked up feeling. Like, I get it now. Like, kids that didn't get picked, like, that's a horrible feeling to be like, damn, like, nobody wants me? I'm like, all right, it's cool. I'm about to bust y'all's ass, though. So the first game goes by, and it was fucking pathetic. Again, if you're in jail, 9 times out of 10, if you don't have a high school diploma, you didn't play sports. Otherwise, you'd have had a reason to stay in school. So it was some of the worst basketball you've ever seen. But that's all right, though, because True Sav was in the building. After all the game, or after the first game got played and they lost, it was 3 other guys who weren't that great and me. So they're thinking, I mean, I understand. They're like, look at this crazy motherfucker with this weird-ass hair. I know this motherfucker can't hoop. Wrong. Wrong, motherfucker. I was out there looking like Bo Jackson, Shaq Diesel, and motherfucking Dion. All wrapped in one. All the rebounds, because I was the only athlete in there. The only guy who was even close to being my size was an Asian dude, might have been like 5'11", 6 foot. Probably 220 or something. Looked like he'd like to do a lot of push-ups. But even then, like, he wasn't going to try me. Because it's like, okay, that he's got blonde hair, but this motherfucker is muscling me right now. We must have won. It was, because it was me. It was the 3 guys that didn't get picked and myself. And we won, like, the next 6 games. Like, we were unstoppable. They would shoot, I would get the rebound, put it back in. Or I would just fucking back down my guy, pass out, they'd pass it back in. I was fucking Wilt, Kareem, Abdul-Jabbar, everything. They were so mad that they were getting hooped up because they were like, but look at you, like you look so. I was like, bro, looks can be deceiving. So I'm the champ, like I'm the king of the pod now, because I'm like, the sports is a way to get respected, especially in jail. If you're good at sports, people will leave you alone. No one will really fuck. Because I mean, it's sports along with intelligence is one of those things. Like, it's one of those things that people will look up to you for if you're good at it in any situation. So luckily, I could hoop. The Asian dude was still a little mad because he's in there getting bodied, but it didn't matter. We come in from recess, and they say, "Oh, True Sav, you have a visitor." I'm like, "Visitor? Like, who the fuck? Like, no one even knows I'm in here." So I go to the visiting area. It's just like the prison. Fucking pick up the phone. They pick up the phone. It is my mom and my sister. So I'm like, wait, what? Like, how the fuck? What? Apparently, they had asked one of my friends where I was at, and the fucking idiot told him I was in jail. He forgot to lie. So they drove out there to the thing. I'm like, bro, it's 10 days. Like, what are you tripping for? So she's like, oh, haha, we talking, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I come back in, and let's see, we did lunch. We did lunch at 10 when I woke up. That's what woke me up, was we did lunch. We went to eat. 3 o'clock rolls around, and I do, what is it? We do dinner, because they have the weirdest fucking schedule. 4 o'clock is breakfast, 10 o'clock is lunch, and then like 2 or 3 is dinner, and that's it. You're done for the rest of the day. God bless them. So I come in, fresh off my victories, fresh off my visit. We do dinner. I pass my tray off again. I'm chilling. I had to take a shower because your boy almost sweat his life away. I kind of sit down on the bunk. I get settled in and kind of get resigned to the fact that, like, this is what I'm going to do for the next, 10 days. So let's get ready for it. And then I hear the sweetest words an inmate can ever hear. Chusev, roll it up. I'm like, roll it up? Like, what the fuck? What is he talking about? I got no weed in here. And they were like, no, that means, take your shit and, get out of here. You're going home. I was like, what? I was like, I have, 10 more days. They're like, they just told you to roll up. That means get your shit and bounce. I was like, for real? They were like, yeah. I was like, oh, all right, motherfucker, whatever. So when they say that, I'm like, yeah, I'm out of here. I'm doing my little celebratory whatever. And the guy was like, hey, you really shouldn't do that. And I was like, well, I'm going home. I don't give a fuck. He was like, yeah, you're going home. He's like, but I just got sentenced to 5 years. So, I'm going to prison right now. Them saying that, you're fucking making a big deal about going home. Somebody could fuck you up. And I was like, damn, my bad, bro. That was fucked up. I shouldn't have did that. You right. But fuck you, nigga. I'm going home, you bitch ass nigga. Skirt! I'm out of here. Chill, bitch ass. Don't drop the soap, nigga. So the black guys, I did feel bad though, because the black guys that were there were they were hella sad, because it was as long as I was there, they had a ace in the hole, because they had somebody that was that nobody would fuck with. So by default, they wouldn't get fucked with. But since I was leaving, it was back to the way things were. And ironically enough, one of the kids that I coached, when I used to coach high school football, one of the kids that I coached that was in high school was in jail with me. So, it was fucked up. It was like, hey, Coach Sav, what's up, my nigga? I'm if this ain't the most embarrassing shit ever in the history of life. And what was he in there for? DV. Beating the bitch up. You motherfucker, you. I roll my shit up. Go back to outtake or whatever. Get my stuff on. End up making the phone call. Call my friend. They were like, how did you get out? I was like, bro, I'm not asking. I got out because at the time, I want to say Schwarzenegger was governor, and the jails were overcrowded. And this was right after 9/11, maybe a year or two after. He had made the announcement that they weren't going to be keeping nonviolent offenders in county jails anymore. So if you had 30 days for some kind of nonviolent offense, you were doing less than 10% of your time. So if you had 30 days, you would probably do 3. I had 10, so I got to do 1. So, and I had no idea. I literally thought I was going to be in there for 10 days. Because I ended up coming to work the day after and was like, hey, cut my vacation short. They're like, already? I was like, yeah, it's this weird virus. And they're just, I had to come back early. I don't know, bro. So yeah, they were cool about it. They let me come back to work and all that. Everyone was weirded out though, because they were like, how did you get back? So I was like, bro, she's an on-time god. Yes, she is. So yeah, it was, whew. That was my first trip to the pokey. Wouldn't be my last, but you know how that is. You miss the things that are fun. That was my first experience with lockdown. But yeah, wow. Oh, we're at bonus time too. Whew. So I hope you enjoyed my first time going to the Hooskow, to the lockdown there. So yeah, man. Reporting live from Wakanda. This is your boy True Sav. I don't want to get too bent out of shape about the things that are going on. There's a plan. I don't know what the fuck it is. They're out there doing some salty shit though. But if you see any 18-wheelers with an umbrella on it, run, motherfucker, because they're coming. That is all. I will. I keep saying this every week. It is so hard to get co-hosts or to get, because everyone always is like, oh, you do a show, like I want to be on there, or me and you should do this, me and you should do that. So it's like, I'm like, okay, here's the day. Slide through on me. We can do an episode of something, but people never show up. People never do anything. I'm supposed to have some hilarious guests for you, but I think we're going to have time now. Because no one's got to go to work and no one's got shit to do. So hopefully we can actually do That's Not My Business. There are some really funny people I met at Berkeley. There's a couple ladies I met that were funnier than a motherfucker, and they want to come on, so hopefully we'll see. The logo, I will post some today. I actually just got some of the logos. I'll post some of them today on my Instagram, Facebook, let you guys know what's up. Intro music, I got another song coming next week. Again, official 24/7, Instagram, Facebook. Follow my man. That's who made the music for this. That is about it. Oh, I'll do it in the shout-outs. So again, you can find me, True Sav Comedy, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Questions, comments, concerns, or if you have some music or logos or something that you can send to me, bestdayeverpodcast@gmail.com. True Sav Gaming, Twitch, YouTube. It's still True Sav 52 on PlayStation Network. Anybody can get it. I'm really starting to whoop shit in Madden right now. And this last week has been some of the best games ever because the best players are at home. So all the little kids are tired of playing because they're getting that ass whipped. All the OGs are coming back. So fuck with me. True Sav 52, PlayStation Network. The sooner I can get a logo picked, the sooner we can do merchandise. So please leave a comment. Tell me which one of the logos you like. I'm probably going to make like 6 or 7 more. I'm going to have 6 or 7 more commissioned so we can get this together so we can start making shit with True Sav on it. That is it. That is all. Oh, shit. Happy early birthday, Cindy Mac. We're going to try to come out there if they let us out of lockdown. I don't know what we're going to do. Let me see. If no one told you, I believe in you. The best things are going to happen to only you and only you. I love y'all so much. Please be safe. Don't do nothing stupid. Don't give them a reason. We all know what we got to do. We got to come up with a plan to get out of this little situation. So we can't get yesterday back. We might not get tomorrow. So that makes today the best day ever. I'm gonna holler at y'all. Peace and the trouble. Quarantine 2020, y'all. It's lit.